problem with getting rid of recycling.
Yeah.
For
They
everyone.
close everything up.
They don't do it.
They don't do it.
Yeah, we pay for it when we come out of the store.
That's right.
We pay for it at the store. We pay for it in the trash, okay?
Yes.
Then they want you to buy bags.
Yes.
Okay? First they say, bring your own bag, and then they say, no, you can't bring your own bag, and then they say, no, bring your own bag. And I went to a store the other day that looked at me and said, we don't have any bags.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, what?
Pretty darn frustrating for everybody. What's going
It's beyond
on?
silly, you guys. It's getting funny, so let's
No,
do
I
it.
have a great idea.
Okay.
I've been masterminding this for a while,
Okay.
Okay.
and this is a foolproof, and it's going to benefit our community.
Okay.
And I want this to be a pilot program right here in San Luis. We do everything else. Let's do something positive that the whole nation could wake up and go, wow, yeah, I like that. I've done a lot of research on this.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody has this recycling. It's become garbage now. Nobody can get rid of it.
Right.
And we're paying all this CRV. State of California has a lot of money sitting up there. And they're
No.
holding on to it.
They
What's
gave
going to
it
happen
away.
to that money?
They
I
gave-
got an idea. It's probably going to go into the general fund to pay for the dysfunctional CalPER plan that doesn't affect any of us.
Right.
Just lines the pockets with gold of government officials on any level. Here's what I want to do. Now, we have the grocery stores all across California. They're paying fines because they are required by law. If they sell that product, they have to take it back. And there's big fines. I believe it's about $100 a day. It's $3,000 a month, if I'm correct on this figure. I'm still doing a little bit more research on that itself, because this is where it gets good. Now, we have how many grocery stores and Rite Aids, CVS's, and what have you. All of these stores in San Luis Obispo, within the city, within the county, within the state, if they don't pay or take in the aluminum and bottles and what have you, and pay them 5 cents a piece for each one and take back that, they're subject to fine by the state
And they give it to the
and the
state.
counties. And if
It's probably cheaper.
no, it gets really good. These folks have to store dirty recycling at their store, and they have food there and what have you. If they store it there, they're going to get fined by the health department. If they don't store it there, they're going to get fined by the state and the county for not taking it in. So all these people, just to avoid the headache, are paying ridiculous amounts of money across the board to avoid taking it in and just paying that fine. They're losing money left and right. I want them to invest. I want to bring recycling back. And I want them to pay for and invest the compactors, the storage containers, and I want to have these recycling businesses here. I want to employ veterans that are homeless, hopefully, put money in their pocket, get them off the streets, put them to work collecting this recycling so people can take their recycling in if they choose to take their recycling in and get their CRV back. The profits from this, 100% of the profits, I want to go towards the mentally ill that are wandering the streets to get these folks private counseling that they desperately need. That you're not going to get good counseling from our government.
No.
You get like a video screen. How are you today? That's what they're doing, by the way, now.
That system's broke.
And these folks need actual real life hands-on counseling with people that give a damn. And that isn't going to happen from our government. It's going to come from the private sector. And I want these folks to have a group of qualified counselors to help these people that are getting paid and have a medical paid for. Now, I'm going to literally go door to door and knock on every door and say, if you can't get rid of your recycling, are you willing to donate your recycling, here's what I want to do with it. I want a veteran to pick it up from your house, weigh it, and something no one else is doing. And this also applies to businesses that have a lot of recycling, like Mother's Tavern. I've already talked to these people.
Right.
They're going to give me their recycling. They love my idea.
Right.
But door to door, all of these folks who are willing to give it, I want them to get a tax donation as well as these businesses, because they're giving a prospective amount of money that they're giving. Now, all of this is going to be self-perpetual.
They're also providing a service.
I have a
There's labor
question.
involved too.
Yes, ma'am?
I have a question. What are you going to do with all that material now that they're not selling it to China anymore?
Well,
They're not.
you mean what is the state going to do?
But what are we going to do
They're
with all
required
that?
to pay for it.
I get it. What are we going to do with it? What are you going to use it for? Because I'll tell you what.
You,
I'm having
with the
a problem-
recycling or the money?
The recycling. I have a problem with. Wait
Once
a minute.
we sell it, it's not ours.
I have. Okay, who are you going to sell it to?
I'm selling it back to the state where it's going to go.
Okay, give it. Let's fill up the. Let's fill up
Well,
the
they
capital
have
with
to
it.
pay for it. They're taking our money. They have to pay for it.
Got the money for
They're
it.
avoiding paying for it.
They shouldn't be charging for it. They should.
They should. Well, they could
charging, don't
either
wanna pay
they could
for it.
either abolish it and not charge a dime for
Right.
it, or they can give the people their money back. And if they're not going to give the
That's
people,
right.
back, they can at least give that money back.
I agree that. I
And they can
agree
pay
with
for the
that.
counseling,
I think that's great.
Oh, I
and they
think
can
it's a
pay
good
for the
idea.
veterans, and they can put people to
And
work.
there's platforms you can go on right now, and I'll tell you what they are later, because it's part of the media. It's called Next Door Network or some stupid thing in Shell Beach where they've censored me beyond belief. They're part of the mainstream media manipulation. I'll call it the manipulation factor. They are screaming right now because they didn't put the blue bins back in Shell Beach. They will give you. Okay, they don't need any money back or a tax break. Okay, they've already got too much of a tax break. They will give you their recycling. They would be happy to.
And that's what I want, because you see, you can actually. There's a few places to get rid of this right now,
Okay.
and I've even got better ideas. You want to know where there's recycling centers?
Yeah, there is none right now.
Oh, well, sure. There's
Senator?
out at Vandenberg Air Force
Yeah, I'm going to
Base.
drive
yeah.
to Vandenberg to go
They
and
have
get
one.
rid of my recycling.
And you can get maximum amount out of there.
Every homeless can't take the bus with the recycling.
That's right.
That's right.
But here's what
They
can
have to have
happen.
it in the town.
Here's what can happen.
Right.
My father was a retired colonel from the Army.
Right.
I have a lot of friends, and I've spoke at a lot of military meetings. National Association of Retired Federal Employees, many times. NOAA, MOA, Military Officers Association of America. My father was a big part of this. I spoke at many of their meetings. In fact, I opened a foundation, the Colonel Vincent M. Speck Family Foundation, that caters to veterans and their families. Now, all military bases have a recycling. You can take that recycling in there. That's kind of what I would like to do. I would like to have trucks take it in there, get the maximum for it, put it on a PO
Camp
system.
San Luis, yeah.
Right. Have it on a PO system, and once a month have them cut checks to the account that can pay for all the medical insurance, pay for the doctors, for the mentally ill, the psychiatrists, the counselors, what have you. I mean, there's a lot of things that we the people actually can do. Our government simply is not going to do it. They're not doing it. They haven't. They have a bad track record. But these are ideas that they're not going to solve everything. But it will relieve the weight of the shoulders of the money that's being spent that we have here within the city for the government. There's limited money that they have. This is one way that we could actually give back to the community. This is how I intend to give back to the community. This is only one way.
That's right.
So
I mean,
what's
This
another-
lake right here is another. I mean, look at this place. It's wonderful. It's beautiful.